Sherry and Jim. For the past 5.5 years, we've been exploring the world on motorcycles, bicycles, and an expedition four-wheel drive. Right now, we plan to be in Siberia driving our Land Cruiser east from Mongolia. But like everyone, 2020 threw us a curveball. So, new plan. With no end to the pandemic in sight, we're embarking on an entirely different sort of adventure. One that will make it easier for us to explore our own backyard. Hi guys, so we have some really exciting news to share.
We have finally decided to carve out an afternoon to update our vlog.
That's not the exciting news that I wanted to share. But anyway, we just got back from a 2-week, 3,000-mile road trip to Colorado, where we spent some time in our favorite mountain towns like Aspen, Breckenridge, Winter Park, and doing some of our favorite drives like Independence Pass, and also just having fun, mountain biking with friends, hiking, doing a little camping. Yeah, just generally having fun in the mountains.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great trip. It was the first chance with COVID that we've been out and away, and it's still a little weird because we felt like we had to be distanced the whole time, but we had a great time. But That's actually not the reason we went to Colorado. The reason we went to Colorado is because we finally decided to take on a new vehicle build, and we're in Colorado because we were picking up our new van. Our van's behind the camera, so what I'll do is I will flip the camera around, I'll tell you a little bit about it, and then afterwards we can go down and have a closer look. Okay, so behind me is a brand new 2019 Mercedes Sprinter 2500. It is the long wheelbase or 170-inch wheelbase version, so translation, there's a lot of room inside. Okay, so welcome to our van. As you can see, it is a big empty box. But we're really excited because that big empty box represents a blank canvas for us to build from. If I were to flip it around to the front, you know, we've got a really we've got a really comfortable cabin, and I think it's a great car in that way. That's really represents a huge change from the way we're used to traveling. If you think about either of our two Land Cruisers we've used to travel internationally, those vehicles are all about utility. They're about having, you know, a really simple, reliable, easy to field service platform that can go anywhere. So we think of those vehicles as being like the vehicles we take to the far reaches of the world, and you sacrifice a lot in terms of comfort and conveniences because of that. This is kind of the opposite of that. This is a vehicle that's, you know, very at home in Europe or the United States, and that we knew as soon as we took a first test drive, it was going to be really comfortable, and most importantly, it drives just, it's a great car to drive. It's smooth, it's peppy, and it drives like a car that's a lot smaller than this is. When you look in the outside of this car, I kind of see like a bus, feels like a school bus, but in the inside, you'd feel like I'm driving something that I can drive as a daily driver every day.
It's amazing. It's amazing how easy it is to drive.
Yeah, and I think, from my perspective anyway, I think a lot of that boils down to, well, a lot of different factors, but I think a big part of it is that this one has all the modern driving aids that cars have. So it has things like adaptive cruise control and blind spot monitoring, which in a big van like this is super helpful. It has 360-degree cameras and parking assist, which makes it really great when you're in tight spaces and, you know, or you get yourself in a bit of trouble, like you pull into, say, I don't know, like a Starbucks drive-through that you didn't realize was super windy, and make sure you don't cut the corner too tight and things like that. So from a driving standpoint, it's wonderfully comfortable and, you know, everything we'd hope for in a car that we want to drive every day. Okay, so now that we've given you a quick introduction to our van, I guess the much more important question is, why'd you buy one and what do you plan to do with it? Fair question. I think the short answer is, or the really simple answer is, we plan to do a full camper conversion. The idea is over a decade old. It's something we've had on the back burner that we've been planning to do for a long time. And basically what we want to do is we wanted to do a big multi-sport trip through North America and through Europe. Actually all the way, including, not just Europe, but through like kind of into Central Asia as well, or at least as far as Azerbaijan Iran and Georgia and those countries. And we knew a van was the right thing right platform for that. And, you know, the idea was we just need a comfortable home on the road that can also carry all of our outdoor gear, our skis, mountain bikes, kayaks, all that type of stuff. And would allow us to basically, you know, not only have a base in the U.S. when we come back from international travels, but also while we're here, you know, it gives us the transportation to be able to go and kayak in the San Juans or in, you know, Alaska or Vancouver Island, or to get an Epic Pass or an Icon Pass and travel from, you know, from one ski area to another chasing snow in the wintertime, or bike packing in Baja or whatever. And also to live in a bunch of different mountain towns like Bend or Bozeman or places like that. So that's always been the idea, and it just never really made the top of our list, right?
Right. Until now, thanks to COVID.
Well, I mean, yeah, like so you know, we were, for people who haven't been following us, up until right now, when COVID happened, up until March, we were traveling around the world in our Land Cruiser, and we were forced to abandon in March our Land Cruiser in Argentina, and it's now sitting in somebody's backyard, sadly.
Yeah, very sad.
So since we've been back, there's a silver lining, right?
Yeah, there definitely is, and we decided we want to take advantage of the opportunity, you know, to go ahead and bring that project up to the top of our list. You know, we don't have a home or car in the U.S. because we've been out of the U.S. for so long.
And I refuse to pay any more rental car fees.
Yes, we're really tired of paying rental car fees. So we want to take advantage of the opportunity to build the van out. We also have access to a garage here and to tools. So, yeah, we have...
Well, not just a garage and tools, we also have time.
Yeah.
Most of the time,
time,
we're busy traveling, and we don't just have time, you know, just to do a build.
Right,
and right now we have unscheduled time that we can, you know, transform into a build project. So, so in some ways, it's kind of really unideal, or it's not ideal at all. And in other ways, it's kind of the perfect timing.
Yeah, it is good timing. So there's one more final piece of business.
The most important piece of business.
And that is, we need to give her a name. We don't want to keep referring to it as the van.
Right.
So we want to give her a name. And we've done that with all of our vehicles that we've taken on long extended trips. And it goes back to, 15 years ago for the vehicle that we bought in England and took through Africa, which we named Betty. And we named it after Jim's very sweet grandmother.
Yeah, very sweet and very small. It was a very big vehicle, and she was tiny, so it's kind of a similarity there, too. And like since then, we've had a whole, we've had several vehicles, and they've all been given names, and all of them had some type of meaning. We had our Land Cruiser we took through for travel all through North America, and that Land Cruiser got named kind of a dubious name, Willie, by a mechanic who was dealing with a bunch of problems that truck had, and said, hey, you should name it Willie, like Willie Make It.
We have my motorcycle, which is named Bumblebee, because for some reason bumblebees are attracted to me, especially when I'm riding. They like to sting me in my helmet.
Yes, you've had more than one bee in your bonnet, as they say.
I have. And my motorcycle is yellow and black, so it's a perfect name, Bumblebee.
Yeah. And then there's Maggie. Maggie is our current Land Cruiser that we're using to travel around the world. And Maggie's actually named after a Land Rover, an old Land Rover that inspired our first Trans-Africa overland trip. And then there's there's also Tabo, my motorcycle.
Your motorcycle.
Tabo was named after a village in Cameroon that's along a particularly bad track that took us like 2 weeks to drive this track. And so we would sit in Tabo every day, and commiserate on whether we're ever going to get out of there. So they all have meaning, right? So this one has to have meaning too.
So this one we are naming Stella, after Stellenbosch, which holds a very special place in our hearts.
Stellenbosch, South Africa.
Right outside of Cape Town. It's a place we spent a lot of time in. We used it for resupply trips when we were on that trip with Betty. We built Maggie there, and we've just spent extended period of times. Like last year, we spent 3 months. But yeah, it's a kind of a home away from home.
It is one of our favorite places on earth, and it's one of the few places, Santa Barbara here in the United States being another one that we feel really comfortable. It's where we go and we want to rest and recover, and where we have, I think, a lot of nostalgia from all the past trips we've taken there. And we've spent about a year there between different trips for the last 20 years. Yeah. So Stella seems fitting, right? It always reminds us of this far off land that we really, or this far off place that we really like.
All right, so So I think that's it for right now. Just kind of think of this as a quick meet and greet instead of an in-depth overview. But for sure, you will get to know Stella a little bit better over the coming weeks, and I know we will for sure.
Yeah, the build, I'm sure will have a way of bonding us to her.
But right now, we're really excited about rolling up our sleeves and getting to work and starting to build this out into our home.
Yeah, and as we get into the build, then we've vowed to be more frequent in our updates. So we hope to provide, progress updates with blog posts on our progress and kind of the trials and tribulations associated with what we're dealing with the build. And we're also going to try and answer a lot of the common questions that people ask in these situations. Why did we choose a Sprinter versus a Transit or a ProMaster? Or why did we choose a two-wheel drive versus a four-wheel drive? That's a big one for us because I think this is the first four-wheeled vehicle that we have traveled in that wasn't a four-wheel drive.
Yeah.
And so that's a big one. Or why do we choose gas versus the more common Sprinter diesel? So anyway, we'll get into those types of details. But in the meantime, if you'd like to follow our progress, then be sure to subscribe. And and if you enjoyed this video, then we'd really appreciate it if you could give it a thumbs up. And we hope to see you in the next one.
Yeah, thanks guys.
All right, see ya. Bye.